First up is a wizard who quickly checks the containment sigils around a crate marked, "Caution, mimic, prop, do not feed snacks." He is to the side of the main arena, obviously preparing a side prop. A sudden flare of prismatic light bursts from the center of the arena, and she steps into it. The acrobat is radiant. Her outfit, an intricate, form-fitted ensemble of moon, silver, silk, and star-shaped sequins, catches the magical spotlights and scatters them into 1,000 glittering shards. Every movement sends ripples of color shimmering across her figure, as though she wears a living constellation. She raises her arms, and the enchanted rigging above responds, ropes uncoiling on their own with a soft, serpentine whisper. When she leaps, she does so with the grace of something almost weightless, magic buoying her ascent. The moment her feet leave the ground, the lights flash in synchrony. Gold, then sapphire blue, then a deep amethyst pulse that follows her like a heartbeat in the air. She twists once, twice, 3 times her body, a bright comet streaking through the haze of illusionary stardust drifting from the rafters. The audience gasps as she releases her silken ribbon, plummets, then catches herself at the last possible instant, spinning into a spiral that sends the sequins of her costume glittering like hot sparks. A ring of floating lanterns ignites around her as she descends, each flame dancing in response to her movements. She steps lightly back onto the arena floor, breath steady, smile soft but triumphant. With a final flourish, she bows, and the magic lights burst into a radiant cascade like fireworks captured in slow motion before fading to a gentle glow. For a heartbeat, the tent is silent. Then the applause explodes, roaring like thunder beneath the enchanted sky.
That was spectacular. Eloan joins in the applause, the magical light gleaming off her glasses.
Jocelyn is sitting between Eloan and Diana. Also applauding, she sees Cairden whisper something to Diana.
Kamari sits next to Bronson, holding his hand. They both cheer as the first performance concludes.
What a grand performance, but I reckon the further along the show goes, the more fierce the competition becomes.
That remains to be seen, my love.
Are you okay, Kamara? You sound a little congested.
I'm fine, Bronson. It's just all the scents and perfumes in here. It's getting to me a bit.
With a concise motion of his wrist, Bronson produces a handkerchief. Here you are, my darling.
What the? How did you get that, Bronson? Kamaya accepts the handkerchief, blushing a little.
It's my own little magic trick.
Oh, what other magic tricks do you have up your sleeve, handsome?
Well, if you wish, I can show you more later tonight.
Maybe. That depends.
Depends on what?
Kamari smiles and murmurs something into Bronson's ear before chuckling quickly, folding the handkerchief.
The lights narrow again, shrinking to a single gleaming beam that paints the sawdust floor in pale gold. A drum roll shivers through the tent, fast, mischievous, promising trouble, and the audience leans forward as the shadows part. Out marches the gnome. Barely 3 feet tall and bursting with swagger, he wears a flamboyant crimson coat embroidered with tiny golden lions that seem to roar as they catch the light. His top hat is nearly as tall as he is, tilted rakishly to one side, and his curled mustache glitters with some kind of enchanted polish. In one hand, he brandishes a baton carved from ivory and capped with a tiny roaring lion's head. In the other, a hoop wreathed in harmless but impressively dramatic blue flame. The magical spotlights flare fiery orange, then deep jungle green, and from behind the curtain emerges the first lion. But this is no ordinary beast. Standing twice the height of the gnome, the great golden creature moves with the regal confidence of something that knows it could swallow him whole, but chooses not to. Its mane sparkles faintly, enchanted starlight drifting from each tuft, and its amber eyes follow the gnome with equal parts respect and amusement.
Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of mysterious origin, the gnome bellows, somehow loud enough to rattle the rafters. Prepare your hearts, steady your nerves, and please, for your own safety, do not blink.
The lion roars, a rolling thunderclap, and at once 2 smaller lions, sleek, stripeless, with runes glowing faintly along their flanks, bound into the ring. The gnome taps his baton once on the ground, and all three lions sit in perfect synchrony.
Alexandra sits a little further up the seating area, next to a gentleman who's dressed in a fine outfit. She whispers and pleads for the lions to go crazy and spill some blood.
He leaps onto the largest lion's paw, then scrambles expertly up its leg, standing proudly atop its massive shoulder. With a sweeping gesture, he commands the ruined lions to spring through the flaming hoop. They leap one, then the other, twisting midair, leaving behind trails of shimmering light that spiral upward like glowing ribbons. The audience erupts in gasps and scattered cheers. Then comes the finale. The gnome hops down, plants his feet, and raises the hoop high. The enormous lion lowers itself, muscles bunching, tail swishing. A collective breath is held. With a mighty leap, the giant lion soars through the flaming circle, landing in a shower of harmless magical sparks that explode into the shapes of miniature roaring lions before fading away. The gnome twirls, bows with exaggerated flourish, and the lions roar in perfect harmony, a chord so powerful it sends the magical lights rippling like a stormy sea above. The crowd loses its mind. The gnome hops up onto a small lacquered podium clearly conjured just for this moment and adjusts his oversized crimson coat. He clears his throat with theatrical gravitas, twirls his mustache once for luck, and lifts his baton like a scepter.
Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed creatures, and all wondrous folks in between, he begins, voice booming, far larger than his size. What you have witnessed tonight is not merely a display of feline finesse. Oh no, it is a celebration of trust, teamwork, and the undeniable fact that even the smallest among us can command the grandest of roars. He gestures grandly to the lions lounging behind him, each one preening under the lingering magical lights. These magnificent beasts, with claws sharp enough to shave a dwarf, and voices loud enough to rattle a titan, have chosen to join me in bringing joy, thrill, and perhaps a hint of righteous terror to your evening. And for that, I thank them. And you. So remember this, dear audience, bravery isn't measured in inches, nor is wonder limited by size. Whether you stand tall as a giant or compact as a gnome of impeccable style, he tips his hat. You may yet leap through flaming hoops and land with grace. He bows deeply. The lions roar in a perfectly timed, harmonious anthem. And now, he finishes with a wink, go forth and let your hearts run wild, but preferably not as wild as them. The gnome and his lions then retreat backstage as the lights dim. Under the shimmering glow of ever-changing illusion lights, the crowd roars with excitement.
At center ring, a golden-haired elven juggler steps in, her confident smile gleaming as she bows to the cheering crowd in greeting. Her athletic frame moves with precision and grace, every motion deliberate, every pivot rehearsed to near perfection. With a flick of her wrist, she sends a single porcelain plate spinning atop a rod, then another, and another. Soon 5 plates, then 8, then the crowd gasps as she lifts 2 more from her belt, sending them swirling upward until 10 plates spin in a perfect halo. Her other hand produces a cascade of objects, ruby red apples, brass rings, a dagger wrapped in bright ribbons, each tossed skyward with flawless timing. Every object arced through the air without colliding, weaving a pattern of glittering motion around her. She steps lightly on a conjured breeze, her hair and costume catching the momentum as though the entire act were choreographed with the wind itself. Above the audience, a bouquet of enchanted balloons drift in a slow orbit. Suspended from their strings, legs dangling casually, floats a cheerful halfling clown in polka dot overalls, hawking his wares between honks of a squeaky horn.
Balloons, a copper apiece, guaranteed not to float you away unless you want them to, he called, drifting past rows of delighted children and adventurers alike. Every time he sells a balloon, the rest bobbed a little higher, adjusting magically, so he continues hovering in lazy circles above the ring.
As the juggler's finale crescendos, all 10 plates spin in unison, her airborne objects spiraling into a single perfect loop. and the clown above blows a triumphant toot on his horn, promptly spinning in place as if the balloons had twisted him around for comedic effect. The audience erupts into another round of applause, showering the ring with cheers, coins, and a few minor cantrips of celebration. The golden-haired juggler caught her final apple with a flourish, dipped into a deep bow, and let the applause wash over her like a wave of magic. Rising, she pressed a hand to her heart and projected her voice across the tent.
Thank you, my brilliant audience. You've given me energy enough to spin 100 plates, though. I promise I'll limit myself to 10 for everyone's safety. She winked playfully, earning a ripple of laughter. It is our joy, every night, to remind you that wonder still lives in this world. Whether you ride the roads as heroes or walk them as humble travelers, never forget that balance, timing, and a touch of courage can make even the wildest act possible. Above her, the drifting clown gave a squeaky horn salute. So enjoy the night, cherish your companions, and may your own journeys be full of marvels worthy of a circus ring. And if not, well, we can always teach you a few tricks. She gave a final flourish of her hands, sending a tiny, illusory shower of golden sparks into the air. Thank you all, and may your evening be magical.
For a moment, the circus tent dimmed, the crowd buzzing in anticipation. Then a single chime rang out clear, metallic, followed by another, cascading like raindrops striking steel. A spotlight blossomed at center ring, revealing a broad cobalt blue mat studded with gleaming metal spikes, each no larger than a dagger, but sharp enough to catch the light with intimidating precision. The audience murmured. Into the ring stepped two dancers, their silhouettes fluid and mirrored. One wore flowing ribbons of scarlet that trailed like comet tails. The other was draped in layers of shimmering silver silk that rippled like moonlit water. They bowed together, hands touching, and the spikes beneath them glittered threateningly. Then the music begins. The dancers stepped onto the mat. Not a single spike yielded, and yet neither performer showed the slightest sign of pain. With impossible balance, they began to move, their feet landing between spikes, on spikes, across spikes, all with the grace of water pouring over stone. Scarlet leapt first, spinning into a tight aerial twist. The audience gasped as she landed squarely on a cluster of spikes, the metal tips glinting around her bare feet. But she remained perfectly poised, as though the spikes themselves welcomed her weight. Silver followed, sweeping into a low roll across the field of points, her silks fluttering inches above the steel. For a heartbeat, it looked dangerous, reckless, impossible, but then the spikes seemed to bend. Were the spikes enchanted? Was the mat itself alive? Or were the dancers simply that skilled? Whispers spread through the crowd. No one could agree. Their movements grew faster, acrobatics, paired flips, interlocking balances, where one dancer supported the other's entire weight balanced on just a single spike point. Yet their smiles never wavered. With each beat of music, the spike shimmered as though in rhythm with them, bending when necessary, stiffening when dramatic effect demanded it. For the finale, Scarlet and Silver clasped hands and executed a spinning lift, their bodies orbiting each other like twin stars. As they rose, the spikes beneath them flattened, forming a pattern of metallic petals. When they landed, the spikes sprung back to their original shape as though nothing had happened. The lights swelled, the dancers bowed, the crowd thundered to its feet beneath the applause. The spikes glinted one last time, silent and mysterious, as if sharing a secret between performers and the brave few who dared watch without blinking. As the main area is cleared and the final performance leaves its everlasting effect, the magical lights dim. The air itself seems to tense a little.
Elowen watches each performance nonchalantly, looking mildly disinterested. She muffles and conceals a few soft coughs and sniffles, her throat and nose still somewhat dry and tickly. With the small view of the backstage area, Elowen sees someone she can scarcely comprehend. She automatically grips onto the side of her chair, chest tight. Jocelyn, Jocelyn. She whispers over to her.
Jocelyn snaps out of her entranced state, locked in on the show. Yes, Mother? Are you all right?
Look over there in the backstage area. Elowen nods to the small view behind the center area.
Jocelyn squints and leans forwards a little in her seat.
That man with the black and grey hair near the doorframe.
I can just barely see him, but yes.
That man is wearing your father's face.
I beg your pardon, Mother?
Either I need new glasses or that man is wearing your father's face. He can't be here, he's miles away. Elowen gets to her feet, briskly walking down the seating area.
Maybe he just looks similar? Mother, where are you going?
Elowen doesn't answer, making her way round the side.
Jocelyn swiftly stands up, going after her, feeling someone grab her hand gently in the process.
Jocelyn, what's going on?
Is everything okay?
Everything's fine, just stay put. Jocelyn continues walking down after Elowen.
Kamari has her eyes closed, her head against Bronson's shoulder, feeling him rub her back. I love you, Bronson.
I love you too, Kamara. He plants a delicate kiss on her forehead, hearing an adorable little giggle coming from her in response.
Alexandra's getting a little comfortable herself. Her and the finely dressed gentleman discussing many ways in which the show could be improved. Piranhas, man-eating pythons, animated knives. They both indulge in each other's ideas and speculations. Alexandra warming up to the idea of levitating guillotines and sentient weapons chasing the performers about until only one's left breathing.
The ringmaster emerges onto the center stage wearing a pristine purple tuxedo, Mr. Haley himself again.
Everyone, thank you so much for attending the show tonight. 14 years in a row now, we couldn't have found a more enjoyable audience to perform for. Please give a most generous round of applause to my beautiful, talented performers.
All of the acts step forth onto the center stage, and behind Mr. Haley, the audience erupts into more applause and cheers.
Whilst the show is now concluded, the concession stands and outside areas are only just beginning. As well as the night itself, please feel free to indulge and delight yourselves. All those who have backstage tickets, please present them to security on the other side of the big top. Thank you all again. We hope to see you again next year.
Elowen is already at the backstage access area, hearing Jocelyn jogging after her. She shows one of the tickets that Cairden made to the security.
Mother, wait. Jocelyn is soon beside her, ticket in hand.
You both get let through. The backstage area illuminated by numerous dancing lights, spells. The orbs float and patrol the roof and its rafters.
Elowen is immediately searching for the man she assumes to be imitating her beloved.
Ah, visitors already. My goodness.
Lance, where are you? Show yourself.
Please excuse us a moment, Mr. Haley.
Lance, please.
Ma'am, who are you after? I don't have anyone here by that name.
Lance Langford, my husband of over 20 years.
Up there, Mother! Jocelyn points to one of the rafters. The black and grey-haired man swiftly climbing across the beams, jumping down and booking it.
Stay here, Jocelyn. Elowen breaks into a sprint, after kicking off her heels, chasing him.
But very well.
Once Elowen is within 60 feet of him, she casts the hold person spell.
The chase leads outside to the back of the big top. Elowen, your spell binds the man in place.
Now, time for explanations. You look like Lance, but you're not. He's miles away from Farron. You're an imposter.
I never thought we'd reunite under these circumstances, my love.
Don't you dare call me that. Trying to weaponize my love for him against me.
Elowen, it is me.
It's horse shit is what it is.
Elowen Louise Langford, it's me.
Insight check, 25 plus guidance. Elowen concentrates on the cantrip instead, dropping the hold person spell.
Absolutely no signs of deceit or misinformation in the slightest.
How do I know it's truly you? The man I love went out on a mission and was gravely injured.
A druidic healer with powerful healing magic. I was lucky enough to have met them when I did.
Insight again, 23.
Same result as before.
Elowen's heart almost screams. It's you, but it can't be so.
My love, it is.
Then why did you run from me?
Because I'm undercover. Or recently just became working as an undercover agent. I couldn't draw attention to myself.
One more insight, 27 total.
Complete honesty and transparency.
My gods, Elowen springs forwards, hugging Lance tight, bursting into tears.
My love, my darling Elowen. Lance embraces her tight, head against the top of hers, rubbing her back gently and comfortingly. His body warms Elowen's as they hug, both of them shedding tears and doubts.
You don't know how much I've been needing your embrace, my love.
Mother! Jocelyn runs over.
Elowen says nothing, more than settled in Lance's arms.
What are you doing? You said...
Hello, Josie. It's been such a long time, my baby girl.
Jocelyn goes silent.
Please don't ever let me go again, Lance. I beg of you.
It's a mistake I swear I won't repeat, my beloved.
Jocelyn steps closer. Father?
Yes, sweetheart. It's me.
Jocelyn hugs her father, overcome with raw emotion. Father, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
I didn't believe I'd live long enough to embrace you both once more. But I'm here now.